Hey, this is Spoon It Now for the blog. I did a post on July 8th, 2010 about three chess positions, and I thought it would be easier to do a quick video showing this than to type it out because it's something that's hard to just understand in text. So, I guess I'll clear the board here and look at this stuff. Here was the first position, and the stipulation is white has to mate on his second move. The answer is rook f4, and the reason is that black's forced to move his king to d8. He can't move to any of these four squares, so he has to move here, and then white checkmates like that. So this is kind of instructive because it can get you thinking about how to force a checkmate. If you just have, say, like a king and a rook. Let's say it's white to move here. He'd play here, and if black moves, say, in front of the kings are sort of facing off here, white will check along the rank. And you notice what happens is the white king controls these three squares. It acts kind of like a little wall. And since the rook controls all these squares, the black king has to move backwards. So then, the white king will move forward a square, and it sort of repeats. So if black moves here, that's checkmate. Okay, and then if black moves the other way, white just follows. So again, black can't come back because that's checkmate. Whoops. So black will just move, and eventually he gets to the edge of the board, and he has no more room. He has to come back, and then it's checkmate. And that's how you mate with a king and a rook, just against a bare king. Okay, the second position was kind of tricky, and it's a kind of position where either you know it or you don't. You notice the white king is like really far away. If the white king was like here, white could just take, and it's just trivial. But with the white king really far away, there's actually a pretty big problem here. Black's threatening to promote, right? So what's going on here is white is going to have to gain time. Like if white checks and black moves here, then white has time to have the king come forward, right? And this would work except for one thing that's particular with the bishop's pawn. If, let's say, everything just started one square over, then white would be able to win by doing that. Or if it started one square over this way, like this, white would be able to win like that. The problem with this particular position is that when white goes to check, black can move to the corner, and white can't take the pawn because that's stalemate. The black king doesn't have any moves. So white would have to do something else to protect the queen square because black's threatening to promote. So if he checks here, we just go back to the same position. And if he tries to check here, it's the same thing. If he tries something different, like just to protect the file, then black moves over, and you kind of see the problem. Anytime white makes this checking move, or normally black would have to play here to protect his pawn, he can go to the corner because it's stalemate. Kind of a similar thing happens if you have a rook pawn. Like if this was the position, white checks, and then black goes to the corner, and you notice that both of black's squares he could go to is covered by the queen, so then the queen's got to move. I mean, if the queen moves there, it's still stalemate. So if he checks, then we're back to the same thing where black is threatening to promote. If we had, say, like a knight's pawn, let's say this was the position, or I'll put the queen here. So like if this is the position and it's black's turn to move, then we can do some cool stuff. The point is that, so when black's king's forced in front of the pawn, that gives white, sort of like an extra move to move his king, so black, does the same thing. If black ever moves away like this, white checks this way, and eventually you get to a point where black is forced to move his king in front of the pawn, and then the white king just comes one step closer, and you repeat that over and over. The last position, whoops, the last position is about pawn breakthroughs. So what happens here is white needs to figure out a way to break through the pawns to promote. If he moves here, then it's just take, and nothing really interesting there. If he tries to push, then he doesn't have enough pawns to make that work. So pushing on the sides we see doesn't work, but if we push in the middle, what a lot of people talked about they saw was something like this. Whoops, I missed. There we go. And the black king will come over, the white king will follow. And this position should be a draw. But instead, white has another way to play that's kind of hard to see. If we push and then black takes, instead of taking back, we can make this pawn push, which is really hard to see if you're not really thinking of all the possibilities. So now black has two ways he can take. If he takes this way, white takes this way and promotes on the next move. If instead black takes this way, white pushes, and the king can't catch the pawn in time. So I'll do it again. So if we take, if white pushes and black takes, then it's like this. Or let's say black took the other way, then it's the same thing, sort of symmetrical. So now if black takes this way, white just pushes. If black takes this way, white takes. And white gets there either way. That's really it. So I thought it'd be easier just to do a video than to type all this stuff out.